Welcome to the talk show Promising Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. And this is Sinha M.S. Sayeed anchoring this very talk show. And today we'll discuss the matters related to economics, politics, and anthropology, and above all, American delegation to Bangladesh and Myanmar crisis. And to suit the very purposes, we have invited two guests. One is Advocate Syed, Mamun Mahbub. He is one of the leading lawyers within the campus of Supreme Court and known to all. How are you?
Fine. How are you, Dr.Sinha?
Fine.
Thank you.
Well, other being Dr. Rezwana Karim Snigdha, Associate Professor, Department of Anthropology, University of Jahangirnagar University. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you so much.
Okay. Well, Advocate Syed Mamun Mahbub, you know very well the recent visit of American delegation to Bangladesh and the reasons are known to all. But the government of USA at this very moment, they would like to have defense cooperation with Bangladesh. And basically, GSOMO, which means an AXA, the two important defense pacts. Whether Bangladesh government is in a position to cope up with the situation or not, there is a bit different question. Thing is that it is a kind of strategic relationship which put Bangladesh into the greater cooperation belt of USA. And keeping in mind the presence of India, China, and Russia, what is your realization?
Thank you, Dr. Sinha Sayeed and my another colleague. This is very a complex matter because till date, the American official position is that 7th January 2024, the election was not held impartially, inclusively, and fairly. So that is their strict position. They have not moved a single inch from that. But at the same time, America is trying to maintain the very ordinary diplomatic relation. And it is the normal practice and procedure between all the countries. But in the very recent past, I believe a couple of days ago, American team under the Irene Akhtar, she came and her colleagues came. But significant is that apart from all the limitations and all the propaganda of government and other machineries of our government, they met exclusively with the BNP leader, just two veiled leaders, Mr. Fakhrul Islam Alamgir and Mr. Amir Khusro Mahmud, the top brass of BNP. And not only that, they also met with a very significant meeting was held between them and our some intellectuals, including Adilur Rahman Khan Shubro, who was convicted by this government under the Cyber Act, at that time another act. So I think America, and even they are trying to say that all need to start dialogue to solve the problem. That is their one chapter. Another chapter, what you correctly narrated, that all the military pact and the other geopolitical matters. So I think Bangladesh government, apparently present government with all propaganda and all self-declared publications, fact remains that government is very weak because they have their moral support from our country. Maybe 7th January has been passed, but they also very clearly know that election was not held, at least the minimum democratic process. So we are in dilemma. The most affected party is our people, and that is my worry. I am not worried about Awami League, BNP or anybody. I am an ordinary citizen. I am worried of my citizens, of the right of my citizen. No matter what India, China, United States of America, United Kingdom, what they think, But the fact remains, after 53 years of independence and a very serious sacrifice our predecessors did that. 3 million people died. 2 lakhs, my mother and daughters sacrificed. So after all this, still, and very frankly speaking, still we are in the position of 7 December 1970, when Yahya Khan allowed the election, though did not allow Bangabandhu to form government. But here, election was not allowed to hold properly. So I would like to discuss in this aspect very clearly, rather than American interest. They will try to protect their interest. We should try take efforts for maintaining our interest. And in that respect, some issue, say the sovereignty of our country, the other things, the border area, certainly we are all in one voice. But difficulty is that this government does not want to include everybody. They think they are the only champion. And if in next phase I will discuss the Awami League and the concept of republic, it is very tough to cope up.
I will come to, thank you very much. Dr. Rezwana, Karim, Snigdha. Basically, you are an anthropologist.
Yeah.
And being an anthropologist, you always try to understand what is anthrop, what is male and female and human being. And from these standpoints, how do you view what is happening in Bangladesh at this very moment?
Oh.
Broad question.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good evening, Professor Dr. Sinha and Advocate Mahbub. It's my pleasure to be in here. And it was really very difficult question. It's really hard to answer within a short period, but it's really important to understand that Bangladesh is a country historically has been colonialized many times. So there is a lot of people, the attitude of our political party is always been through dominating, and it's really hard. If you go through the history, you will find there were multiple layers of colonialism happening here before 1971 and before 1947 and before beyond that. So this process affects our contemporary political party as well. Though we are independent, people usually say this is a democratic country, but if you go in depth, you will find this is a monarchical practice. So there is a people in here, you can see the political party and leaders always going through inheritance. Like someone is claiming the nation because of someone's father, someone is claiming the nation because of the better half, someone claiming the nation as a democrat, like the military power. So this happening after 1971. But the people in Bangladesh, they actually try to get their freedom, their rights. They are not aware about their own rights. That's very important. So state fault or the political party's negligence is not coming up. So this practices has been going through last 15 years, and people in Bangladesh, they are starting to think that, okay, whatever going through, we are not bothered about the political party. We are not bothered about the who is in the position. We are very cautious about our own self. So this attitude also affects the political party, and they took the privilege of this type of attitude. So this is the area, and it's not a single thing. It's connected with each other. It's connected with our ideological position. It's connected with our cultural practice. It's connected with our trust. I would like to say this is really very important. An ordinary person in Bangladesh, they are not trusting anybody. For example, doesn't matter who is in power. Even you go through the opposition, and even you just look forward in the people who are right now at the power, they are fighting for the power. What about the common people interest? Why should I join in the movement? Because they are not fighting for our rights. They are not fighting for the high price of the product, daily product. They are not fighting for what is happening right at this moment. People are frustrating. People are losing their own money. People are damaging they do not get the health rights properly. But you never find any political party are talking about those rights. the health rights, the food rights, the pricing, all those things. So these things create an alienation from the people and the power. So people are not feeling a part of them. They are alienated. So
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. Advocate Mamun.
Yes.
People are very much alienated. It's an allegation from the chair of a professor of the university. How do you refute this?
Thank you very much. It's a very nice and elaborated discussion made by Dr. Snigdha of the whole socio-political position of my country. But I, with all honor, I think it would be a tough opinion that people are alienated. Our people, in various various times, they responded to their call. In other words, they rose to the occasion. Even after 71, when in the 80s, when we fought against the autocratic regime, then people made sacrifice in highest order. And if I start to name those martyrs in our that heroic movement 1982 to 1990, Jafar, Joinal, Selim, Delwar, Titaz, Romij, Boshunia, Nur Hussain, Dr. Milon, and a lot of people. But the problem is that in our country, my understanding that one of the leading lawyers of this subcontinent, Nani Palkiwala, once said, when republic is born, it is the leaders who create institutions. Later on, institutions create leaders. But tragedy in my country, in my beloved country, that our leaders did not take any attempt to establish the institutions. Rather, whatever we inherited from colonial regime, today, after 53 years of our independence, more or less all the institutions are about to fall. That is the crisis. You know, what we want to see, and my understanding, why people sometimes very much became angry, furious with the present regime, maybe. But why they are not coming in a large number? Because they, in order to change the regime, they want that you tell me what you will change. The change of regime or change of persons will not solve the crisis of Bangladesh. You need to do a rapid change. Say in my arena, judiciary, wherein I practice. Judiciary in any country is the safeguard of a democracy. No democracy can survive without judiciary. And you see in our neighboring country, India, maybe there are a lot of loopholes there. But still, present regime is trying to destroy. But despite that, you know, in the recent past, Indian Supreme Court gave a very historic judgment. The political election bond, which the BJP, the present regime of Indian government, used to earn a huge money, and there was no disclosure. But Indian Supreme Court said, no, this cannot be.
Thank you very much. I'll come to you again.
So that is the problem.
Yes. Viewers, we are going for a short break. Keep watching. Welcome to the talk show Promising Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement. And this is Syed anchoring this very talk show. We were having talks with two brilliant human beings who are known by themselves. One is Advocate Syed Mamun Mahbub, other being Professor Dr. Rezwana Karim Snigdha. Dr. Rezwana Karim Snigdha, basically it belongs to the fold of sociology, social sciences, and your subject is a part of sociology also. As a human social being, we are also political element. Fighting for democracy and establishing democracy are two things.
Yeah, of course.
What are the gaps in Bangladesh perspective?
Oh, thank you. It was really a pleasure to hear Advocate Mamun. It was really, he was really nicely portrayed. And I also agree with him when he said there is a the institutional are falling nowadays. So when you say fighting for the democracy and achieving the democracy, this is a two different thing actually. The thing is that when I was trying to tell that people are alienated because the institution cannot work by themselves. I was trying to locate that when you talk about achieving something, that is about you need to understand what is the beauty of democracy. You need to understand what you mean by democracy. I would like to mention, if you know, just Kemal Atatürk, the person who has been the Turkish president, and at that moment, the way he did a revolution, and that way, we are somehow along the line. After 1971, our intellectual capacity, our cultural capacity, our understanding of democracy, somehow it has been practiced in a different manner. Okay, maybe we are getting a democratic party at the 1971, but if you go through the history, you will find the way that regime at that moment continued their power practice. It was not reflected the proper democratic practice at that time, even till now. If you go back 1971, 1975, you will understand, you will find what is going through over there, because we all know there is a famous thing about Bakshal. Bakshal cannot be a supplementary for democracy at all, but it happened in our history in Bangladesh. So what I'm trying to tell, and after that there is a army and military, again Bangladesh lost their democracy, and Nur Hossain, we all fight for our democracy to come back. But at the same time, we didn't understand the beauty of democracy. Like in last 15 years, this government, the ruling government, when they're talking about democracy, at the same time, they are stopping us. They are always putting pressure to the people. Even I cannot tell, I cannot speak, I cannot write a single status in my Facebook. Digital Act has been accused. So people are thrown into the jail, and some people have been murdered. I would like to mention Mustafa, he was a cartoonist, and he died in the jail just because he protests. So the way of democracy is not like that. Democracy is the beauty. Democracy is the diversity. Democracy, even though in our people, they are thinking that everybody should tell the same thing. No, everybody, if you go for visit a garden, and if you see the flower of that garden, all are white, that time that was not garden, that will be a nursery. So democracy is something like when you find there are lots of diversity, diverse ideas. Me and Mamun Bhai can fight with each other. That is the beauty of democracy. But in the running present day regime, it's really hard to locate people who are fighting each other. Even you go through the parliament, what we see, there is no party who can fight each other, because this is a team A and team B. So in this situation, it's really hard to practice that.
Thank you very much. In this situation, it's very hard to practice. Politician Syed Mamun, my simple question to you, asking to you, are you a product of democratic movement or democratic process? You yourself.
Yes, certainly. I am not the product of democratic process. I am the product of democratic movement. And still I don't know. One problem, Dr. Sinha, in our country, particularly in this region, we are not able till today to say no to any constitutional post. And another problem, we are not even unable to accept no from you. Say I want to go with you in a picnic. That's because society, democracy starts from family and society. You say, no, Mr. Mamun, I will not go, I am busy. Usually I will not accept. So this is the basic things. Because in our country, we never try to not take the matter in a citizen aspect. People are becoming the partisan. I am not against the partisan, because democracy, parties are the elementary factor. But facts, where is the voice of citizen? Everybody here is the Awami League or BNP or any other party, and what happened? Supremo, what she says or he says, that is mine. No critical thinking, no questioning.
Exactly.
Once Einstein, one of the students asked Einstein, what is the learning process, continuous learning process? Einstein said, you never stop questioning. But here, if you question, then you may go to jail. That is the difficulty.
Thank you very much. Here, if you question, there is a possibility of sending you to jail. Dr. Rezwana Snigdha. In sociology, there is a concept addiction. Addiction for power or hunger for power are one of the dangerous elements in democracy.
Yeah.
And do you think Bangladesh at this very moment has been shallowed by these two concepts?
Oh, thank you so much. Actually, when you were asking the question, I was remembering a name, Mao Zedong, and I was thinking about the book, The Red Army, if you can remember. So that moment, the urge to being always powerful, the urge to practice the naked power, the urge that I want to, I want to hold the power. So this thing actually somehow, if you go through through our subcontinent, you will find in many ways, as I said, Mao Zedong, and if you go for Stalin, before the Second World War, the way the world has been shifted. But at the same time, there is a running time in 2024, people in the West and the academics also are concerned about maybe this is the dead end of the democracy, and authoritarian government has been reformed in many countries. If you look at the China, Korea, and even what is happening all over the democratic practice somehow have been questioned. And the thing is that when you're asking me that why people ask for the power, because over there, power gives you the highest authority. Even when we are in a monarchical system, we were able to protest. But now at this moment, the state is using their institution as a force against the people. The state is using their judicial system against the people. Advocate Mamun has rightly pointed out, I really found it's hard to find it out there is any civil movement happen in Bangladesh after 1971. We can see even there was a very innocent movement, like you say, the Nirapod Sorok Andolon is a movement for human rights, so every civilian rights. But that has been also, the movement has been hijacked by the ruling government or the other people. And also it's really very problematic to understand that when we talk about Shahbag versus Shapla Chhatro, and we have produced some new form of metaphor like quote unquote Rajakar, Nobbo Rajakar, blah blah blah. But the thing is that I would like to ask the people who born after 1971, the child may be born just a few days ago, maybe his great-great-grandpa was not a supporter for the freedom fighter. But when you accusing that 3 months baby as a inheritant of a betrayer, that child can never be a part of this country. That child started to hate the country, disown the country. So we force to make them a part of the country, to create other people. So these practices has been practiced through, and also we have been practiced through our ideology, like freedom fight is a pride. All of us, it cannot be a part of a particular group or political party. Different people. A farmer, villagers were a freedom fighter. They did not even supporting a particular party. But what is happening right now? The practice is like that. Okay, this achievements is only for us. If no one is a part of us, they are the other people. So this otherness and continuously practicing such a thing give them a supreme power. Practicing power, the urge of power and supremacy of power is completely different thing. And when you're practicing power, we almost forget, because who will be our next leader? The lack of leadership is a crisis of Bangladesh. We always focusing on Bangladesh National Party. There is a crisis of leadership. I would like to ask, what is about our ruling government? Who will be our next leader? Who is going to take our responsibility? But this question cannot also be addressed, because there is a problem because you are not supposed to ask the question. But if you don't have a proper leadership, if you cannot found a revolutionary leader, we cannot get a democratic Bangladesh, a progressive Bangladesh.
Thank you very much. Advocate Mamun.
Yes.
She is very much concerned about the leadership, lack of leadership. My asking to you, is there any planned leadership in America? Presidency or government? Nobody knows who is the next president.
Yes.
They bring a person and throw before the nation, and there is a caucus, there is a system, and they come out of this. So basically, he's not a political leader.
What was our main goal, or the very popular word now, quote unquote in Bengali Mukti Juddher Chetona, and English the spirit of liberation word. Our main goal was, lofty goal was three: equality, human dignity, and social justice. And if you, any person, even need not be a very intellectual person like you, any ordinary people can review the social structure and the various things, government machineries, even the political parties, inner democracy. You will miss everywhere the equality, human dignity, and social justice. Our predecessors who led the Bangladesh, who was the fighters for Bangladesh, they did not say that justice, because justice and social justice, there is a gulf of difference. Justice means to resolve the dispute, but social justice means that everybody should be happy, the social welfare and human dignity. Such a big thing. Human dignity means the person, all persons are equal. There is no monarchy here. There is no king or queen. We have passed those days, the world has passed those days long before. The Magna Carta was the first fight.
Thank you very much. I'll come to you again. Viewers, we're going for a short break. Please keep watching. We are back to the talk show Promise Bangladesh, sponsored by Crown Cement, and we were having talks with two brilliant chaps of Bangladesh. And they are Advocate Mamun and Professor Dr. Snigdha. Advocate Mamun, you are a political leader.
Activist.
You are a political activist, whatever it is. You are with the political party. Everybody is very much annoyed with the political party, basically the citizen, general people, not the workers and activists, because they feel leaders and political parties are responsible for the overall crisis in Bangladesh. How do you refute these things?
To be on a fair submission, certainly politicians are responsible, because the country is moved by politicians, and the question is, which politicians? That is the question. You see, you know better than me, in 1990, after the fall of Ershad regime, at least people reached a consensus that the election should be held under a government which is not a partisan government. And in 1991, election was held. Even that time, there was no mandate from the constitution, just on the basis of people's consensus. And I would like to request your all the concern that it's a very significant point. In 1990, there was no constitutional provision that one person will become the acting president and he will conduct the election. No political party will be in power. That was constitutionalized in 1996. Maybe both the parties try to move on their own way. That may be. But at least a consensus was grown that due to the serious inimical and the personal hatred to the two political highest leaders, so the election should be held under a neutral caretaker government. If you are allergic with that name, maybe the election period government, whatever may be. And maybe I think even 3 months is not may not be necessary, 2 months. But you need to hold an election. At least what our constitution says. Constitution says, Article 7, all power belongs to people. Very nice. 11 says the republic shall be a democracy. How it will be cope up? Not that every people will come and recite to Ganabhavan or the Bangabhavan. So they will represent they will elect their representative. Their representative will run the country as per constitution, as per desire of the people. At least this is the basic principle, basic concept of democracy, right or wrong. Maybe is not very well covered, because the Marxists will think, no, this is not covering all. But at least after 90, we reached to that position, and we are worried what is going on, because in one part everybody knows this government is in the helm of the affairs, but their General Secretary said the opposition is maintaining the syndicate. Is it a fair narration?
Thank you very much. I will come to you again. Opposition is maintaining syndicate, therefore opposition is more powerful than the government.
I wish it is
if it
true.
is so, as an anthropologist, what is your response from the sociological point of view?
Yep, the thing is that when you talk about the syndicates, when you talk about the opposition, it sounds, when I have heard opposition is more powerful, it's really echoing. I wish it could possible, because it's almost like a dream right at this moment, because I could not find even who is the opposition. That's really very important to locate. Who is the opposition? Is the ordinary people is the opposition right at this moment? Because I could not found there is an opportunity even to stand up to declare or claim that we are opposition, because all the institution force has been employed. But the thing is that when you talk about Ramadan is coming and people are going to there is a syndicate, the price rising, the sugar is very important. We in the Ramadan we have a tradition to make a juice or something like that. Sugar, it has been established, all of us, there is a very hard and a very chemical has been used in the sugar. So what happened? The state is not taking any action to stop this chemical mixture. Rather, the state creating a norms, zero sugar, avoid sugar, don't drink anything sugary. So what is happening? So you are cautious, you know what is happening over there, but you ignore. You playing with the life of the people. You are not concerned about the people. The people's want, people's demand. So I really found some time yes, who is the opposition? Opposition is not a party, political party. Rather, opposition is the ordinary people like you and me. Because whenever we ask for our basic needs, all the time we have been interrupted by the government, by the political leaders, by the institution. No one is going to take our responsibility. If I claim a legal file right at this moment, I don't know when it comes up, when the case will show their results, we don't know. When you go to the hospital, people are dying even for a single operation called circumcision. It's not about the negligence, it's a kind of a murder. But after 71 till now, there is no legal case has been just come up, the judicial declared this is the case, this is the conviction. We could not find it. Why? So then my question is that actually who is the opposition? Doesn't matter who is in the point of view. Doesn't matter for me. It really doesn't matter who is in power. Is it Awami League, BNP, Jatiyo Party? Doesn't know, because our life is not changing. We are all focused on the discourse of development. It's a discourse, and I would like to refer Amartya Sen. There is a famous book of Amartya Sen is Argumentative Indians, and also Development as a Freedom. This is very significant, development as a freedom. So when our running government and all these institutions are saying that we are floating by the development, but at the question, where is the freedom? Where is my agency? Where is my ability to act? I cannot give my effort. So the freedom has been squished. So there is no development is there. There's no opposition is there. The opposition is the human being.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rezwana Snigdha. Mr. Mamun, you are a very learned man and also a very clever person indeed, and diplomatic also. Do you think a kind of Hafsian state has been created in Bangladesh? And Dr. Rezwana, very assertively try to conclude the very picture should be off as soon as possible. Who will take the responsibilities?
Now, yes, there are points that needs to be discussed, but with honor, I would like to disagree with my learned colleague, Dr. Snigdha, that there is no opposition, because this government, they know that there is a very strong opposition, because in order to hold their election on their own way, they sent 25,000 leaders and activists of Bangladesh Nationalist Party and all other opposition political parties into the jail. So it would be an injustice to say that there is no opposition. Even sir,
Is it phobia?
no, just let me complete. Even my identity, we have formed a United Lawyers Front. Apart from political, apart from ruling Awami League supporting lawyers, all lawyers, despite various difference with their political ideology, we formed United Lawyers Front, wherein I am one of the central coordinators. What is our object? Object is that to maintain the compel the judiciary to act independently within the ambit of constitution and the rule of law, not the party rule, and also to restore the voting right which has been taken away forcibly. So, but yes, I do certainly I do agree with Dr. Snigdha that there should be more political movements, not only related to power but related to the people's demand, people's life-touching issues, say essential goods, say various injustices. And you know, last couple of days ago, one very young businessman and also a poet of Mamun, Shamim Ashraf, his name. He just criticized the present Mamun City Corporation authority that his city is very unclean and the historic river Brahmaputra is dying, and he was arrested. And what inspired Dr. Sinha? I am seriously inspired from that my young brother. When he was handcuffed, he was just laughing, like our Kazi Nazrul's Shikol Pora Chol Moder Shikol Pora Chol. This is Bangladesh. This is the genesis of Bangladesh. That's why 1952 held. That's why 1962. That's why 1969. That's why 1971. That's why 1990. Maybe another will happen, because it must be. Otherwise, we can run our country, because there are a lot of problems. But I certainly agree with my friend Dr. Snigdha that everybody needs to introspection. In our culture, in one party, that Snigdha's party is bad, but my party, everything is hunky-dory and fairy tales. If you question, then you are the agent of government. And when government party, you are questioning, sir or madam, it may be hampered the interest of the people. Oh, you are agent of political opposition. Because again, I would like to reiterate, we are not unable to say no, and we are unable to hear no. This is very significant. You need to say sometimes no. You need to sometimes hear or respect your no. I should respect your no. She should respect your no. I should respect her no. And we all sometimes need to say some constitutional post or any post state offered, say no. But we are missing that part.
Thank you very much.
That is the crisis.
Dr. Snigdha, it means there is a tremendous kind of attempts for monopolization of ideas and ideologies. Monopolizations.
Yep.
I think I am the best, you think you are the best, he thinks he is the best. But who are the best? Better, we are the best.
Yeah.
That should be the approach.
Yeah.
Then what is the final conclusion?
Yeah, which is called a collective effort, right? So collective consciousness, collective effort is very important for everyone. But the thing is that we as a nation, we have a lot of things to become proud of ourselves. And of course, we have 1971, we have even 1990, 1991. So we have there are many historic achievements, but at the same time we need to understand there is that the color of movement has been changed. The world has been shifted. We are entering into the fourth industrial revolution, which is very important to understand. And if you are still thinking that we can do something based on the emotion is very important, but this is the time, this is very high time to locate the emotional intelligence rather than just emotion. So I really doubt like emotional outburst can really make a significant change. Rather, emotional intelligence can create a collective consciousness, and this collective consciousness can make us to think that this is not about me, this is not about I, this is about us. So this is the thing we are missing right at this moment, number one. And number two, which is really very important, like we are priding ourselves too much. Like as an individual, we always focusing on ourselves too much. This is called about the like high face of capitalism. Like, you know, this is a time of the new liberation, new liberal economy has been talking about. But unfortunately, when you see in overall Bangladesh, people are running after money, people are running after to only cautious about their own self, even though the political party, the institution, the officer, the people, the public, all the people who are in government service, they forget, okay, I am in a government service. My people is my superior, not I am the superior. They are expecting other people to address them as a sir, whereas sir is quote unquote very colonial term, and also they are expecting that I can do the best practice. Who is the power holder right at this moment? The businessman, and on the other hand, the people who are the government service holders. The question is that this is a question like the power, even the political leaders like Professor Advocate Mamun. It's really hard. How many political leaders are holding their power? How many political leaders are really can able to practice a good institutional power? The problem is that even being as a leader, they cannot perform within the institution, within this regime. So when you just destroy each and every institution, and when you just doing the monopolization, as you said rightly, when you do the monopolization that this is the thing, this is the best, then it's really hard to flourish. It's really hard to flourish for any political party, any political leader, even an individual. This is the hard time we are being.
Thank you very much, Dr. Snigdha, and thank you very much, Advocate Syed Mamun Mahmud. Well, we are about to end this talk show, and before ending the talk show, I have to summarize the speeches made by the two speakers here. Viewers, the two speakers are very much vocal about the content and context of the time, and they also feel that Bangladesh should go ahead with an image that we the people fought for the democracy, and we can run with the democracy, we can live with the democracy, and democracy means the people of Bangladesh. In fact, there are a lot of gaps between words and actions. Establishing democracy and fight for democracy, different things. And Advocate Syed Mamun assertively said he is not a product of democratic process, rather he is a product of democratic movement. Assertion from the very mouth of a political leader like him, really an inspiration for the new generation. At the same time, Dr. Snigdha, as an anthropologist and within the world of sociology, he said, what is going on at this very moment? Everything is going to be monopolized. Monopolization means I am the best. When you assert that I am the best, it means you are making the nation marginalized. And let us think again, Bangladesh belongs to us, this constitution belongs to us, this liberation award belongs to us. And we are the people who can build this nation. If we are not in a position, definitely the coming generation will take the helms. And thank you very much.